Okay, well, let me stop sharing screen.
Okay, so I'm here with Cassandra Greer, and she's going to do some healing on me that I've never tried before. So I'm going to let her explain what she does.
Okay. So, what I have, I call the soul code method. And it is the target audience for this method is the group of people who have a hard time healing through any modality. And because a lot of us who've done energy medicine, we have found that there are some people who, no matter what we do, it just takes forever if anything happens. Very slow progress or no progress at all. And or it could be a particular issue. You know, like they might heal in other areas, but then there's some issues that just can't be touched. And this stems from my own experience with energy medicine over the past 7 years or so, where I myself could help other people with energy medicine, but couldn't help myself, and other people couldn't really help me either. And neither could allopathic doctors as well. They all were like, oh, I don't know. And so it was very frustrating for me. And I actually had some really bad experiences with energy medicine because of this, because of certain principles that I didn't understand and the people who were working with me didn't understand. So, and out of this experience, I developed the Soul Code method. And its name is very similar to the emotion code and the body code, and there's also various other codes out there as well. And I felt led to call it the Soul Code method. It's called method to keep it different than all the other soul codes out there. And well, it's a very simple method, I think, and it doesn't go into a lot of details about what kind of an issue a person has, what the names of the energies are. A lot of people know the emotion code and the body code, and in the emotion code they name specific negative energies using emotion names, labels for emotions. In the body code you have all sorts of different types of energies that are named, and this naming, this labeling of energies can actually be very triggering for people, not necessarily consciously but subconsciously. And so I have developed a table of my own that I call the basic table, and I can show a picture of it right now on the screen. And
Okay.
so can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. And this is it's a very simple chart, just one chart. It has 3 columns and 6 rows, and basically it identifies not only negative energies that can be released, but also the lack of positive things like beliefs, belief statements, belief systems, paradigms, and connections or attachments. And there aren't, I haven't found any other modalities that deal with these things quite like this. A lot of people are very into clearing. They think clearing their negative stuff is the answer to everything, and don't realize that could actually be a lot of cuts and attachments that they don't know about. And if these attachments aren't reconnected, then they're not going to get where they want to go. And if they don't know how to use these attachments through their beliefs and their belief statements, they're not going to work very well either. Another principle I'd like to discuss is what I call pure white perfect light. This is the whole entire spectrum of light in the whole entire universe, and it includes all information, all intelligence, all everything. And every other true light is a subset of this. And this pure white perfect light is what shines through us when we are more or less healthy. It comes through our heart. It is the main substance of our essence, and it is what makes us a part of this universe. All modalities, in general, I suppose, have the goal of helping a person find and access their own personal light, whether this is implicit in the modality or not. But not all modalities address this specifically. There's a lot of release modalities that they say, okay, you release everything that is causing this problem, and then the problem will go away. And what actually should happen is that if you release all the stuff, all the negative stuff, you will access your own light better, especially for that situation. Well, not everybody manages to do that. They can release everything involved and then nothing happens, or they could even get worse. And the problem there is a lack of connection to their essence in that particular area. And this lack of connection can also be compounded by very specific types of negative energy, if you want to call them, which I call non-light. This includes darkness, but it also includes false light as well. So anyway, what is the best way to get to a person's essence if they don't have full access to it? I mean, everybody has access to it to some extent, or we'd be dead. Okay? But if a person is having a problem that is causing them distress, then their access to their personal light, their pure white perfect light, has been hampered, or they're not accessing it properly. And I have found that the heart is the seat of this pure white perfect light and of a person's essence. And if a person's heart is healed to a certain extent, then they can start accessing their pure white perfect light better. Also, people talk about something called a healing matrix, the healing matrix. And this is a component of a person's pure white perfect light. And, if a person is sick, this is what they're trying to get at, is their healing matrix. This is just to help other people understand fully better what this pure white perfect light can do. So, when I work with people, usually the first thing that we do is a heart healing session. And through this session, we resolve various issues that the heart has that keeps the person from accessing their essence through their heart. And it's not a method that's very, what's the word for it? It doesn't wow people. It's kind of boring. And there's a good reason for it, because a lot of people who've had trauma in the past, their subconscious doesn't feel safe with a lot of things. And certain labels can make the person's subconscious feel even less safe. So I do also address how safe the subconscious feels about working with me or with this method or energy methods at all at the beginning. So, Tim,
yes,
kind of talked. Do you have any questions before we start?
No, let's get started.
Okay, so the very first thing I do is I put up true shields. And true shields, according to my definition, are shields that address the emotional, the mental, the physical, the spiritual, and the conscious, and everything else. Okay? A lot of people put up shields. They shields up, and I have found, at least in my case, most of these shields were basically only emotional shields instead of the other things. And I didn't realize it because that's the way I was configured. And a lot of people are configured that way. And so my definition of true means it covers everything. So I'm going to put up true shields now, and I'm going to use muscle testing. That's another component of this. And I usually just do it like this because it's faster. When I'm working with a client, excuse me, I may have them do the sway test to help them be more involved and to help them feel what's going on. Especially, if they're standing here where I work. So, true shields up. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So we have true shields up. And now, Tim, I'd like to ask your permission to truly muscle test you.
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask Tim's subconscious if his subconscious will let me do that too. So, Tim, may I truly muscle test you? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So his subconscious said yes, and it got it up to 100% yes. Okay, so I'm now going to ask Tim's subconscious, do you feel safe working with this heart session today? Yes, 100%. So you're good to go. I'm going to ask your subconscious, do you have any other issues about this session? No. So you're still good to go. So the next thing I do is I actually address Pure Right Perfect Light. For some people, Pure Right Perfect Light is God, or the source, or the creator. It's the person's higher power. And but addressing it as Pure Right Perfect Light covers the whole entire spectrum and should be tolerable to all people. So right now, I'm going to ask, say, Pure Right Perfect Light, with all thankfulness. I now ask Pure Right Perfect Light to truly bless us in all that we are before Pure Right Perfect Light, to truly show us everything we need to be shown for this session. Then I test to make sure this happens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100. And so what is being shown is usually mostly subconscious and not conscious. This is to help the subconscious get ready for healing. So the first thing that I ask for are issues in the heart that are active. So the heart has lots of issues, but they're not all active. And I usually use geological names and meteorological names to help me get a feel for the size and scope of these issues. But we don't talk about the issues themselves because that can be triggering, and it can actually re-traumatize people if we actually go into them, and it takes a lot of time. So when I asked Tim's heart, does it have any pieces that are active right now that can be dealt with? And you do. You have a big piece. Okay, and so I'm now, in all thankfulness, I now ask Pure Right Perfect Light to truly bless you in all that you are, to truly shield and resolve this piece and all that it is before Pure Right Perfect Light. And so I've asked what I want to do, what I want done for this issue in Tim's heart. And so it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay, so it's truly shielded now. Now, so I like to use percentages because I like to know where things are. And if it had stopped somewhere, like it's 70, and wouldn't go further, then I would go back to the chart and ask, which column is the issue, which row, etc. Just through muscle testing. But you have no issues. It is shielded. And now it's being resolved, and it's 40% resolved, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay, so now it's truly resolved. And that means, so healing is involved in that. If there's any light in this issue, this light is put into your essence, and the rest just goes off, is discarded. So, do you have any other pieces? No. Do you have any pebbles? No. Do you have a pebble? Oh, you have one pebble. So a pebble's a little one. So, I now ask Pure Art Perfect Light to truly bless you and all that you are before Pure Art Perfect Light, to truly shield and resolve this pebble and all that it is before Pure Art Perfect Light. 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay, so it's shielded. 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, and it is resolved. Okay. Do you have any sand? No sand. Anything smaller? No. Do you have any boulders? Do you have a hill? You have a hill. Okay, so you can see how you got sand all the way up to hills, and some people even have mountains. And mountains are usually inherited things, but you have a hill right now, and it's not inherited. So, as always, so in all thankfulness, I now ask Pure Art Perfect Light to truly bless you and all that you are before Pure Art Perfect Light, to truly shield and resolve this hill and all that it is before Pure Art Perfect Light. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay? And so it's shielded, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, and it is now resolved. Okay? Now, do you have a mountain? You do not have an active mountain. So, are there any streams or rivers? Is there a volcano? Is there a tornado? Is there a hurricane? There's a hurricane. Okay? So, in all thankfulness, I now ask Pure Art Perfect Light to truly and absolutely bless you and all that you are before Pure Art Perfect Light, to truly shield and resolve this hurricane and all that it is before Pure Art Perfect Light. 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay, and resolved 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay, so are there any other active issues in your heart? Nope. Okay, so are there any weaknesses that we can deal with right now? Yes. Okay, so weaknesses are, some people talk about the matrix or the grid of that a person's energy is built upon, their configuration. And a weakness is kind of like if you have fabric, and in the weave is a little bit thin, or there's a hole in it or something. This is where the fabric could tear more easily and cause problems. And a weakness is, it could be something that we're given before we're born to help make us stronger by dealing with this weakness. It could be something that's been inflicted on us through culture, through trauma. We may have inherited it from one or both of our parents. They could be self-inflicted weaknesses, like you make stupid mistakes and you don't get them taken care of, and they just kind of compound and make a weakness that keeps following you. And with weaknesses, it's really hard. A lot of people fight against their weaknesses, and this fight and can never really get a hold on them. Other people just accept them and say, well, that's just the way it is. But actually, in my experience, if we are humble towards Pure Art Perfect Light and ask Pure Art Perfect Light to show us what this is, and so that we can be more open. So humility for me is to be open to what Pure Art Perfect Light wants us to have. Okay? And if we're humble and we let go of this weakness, then Pure White Perfect Light will replace it, will take it and replace it with something better. So, are you willing to work on this weakness, Tim?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we don't even have to, ask what it is. You might get your own inspiration of what that is. So what I'm going to do is, in all thankfulness, is to ask Pure White Perfect Light to truly show you what this weakness is, so that you can become humble, open to change. Okay? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So you've been shown what your weakness is. And this weakness is something that happened, was kind of developed when you were a kid. And so it happened at a time when you weren't really accountable for such things. So let's see how humble you are about them. 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So you are humble. And so I'll ask your heart, I'll ask your subconscious if you're willing to allow Pure White Perfect Light to take this weakness. Okay, are you willing? Yes. So I get a yes from your subconscious. So now Pure White Perfect Light is taking this weakness. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay, so it's been taken, and now it's going to be replaced, okay, with a strength. Probably the opposite of whatever the weakness is. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So the seed is in there. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay. And so it's starting to sprout and grow. Now, as this weakness grows, your subconscious, the best thing for your subconscious to do with this so that it actually becomes useful to you is to accept this into your essence, to receive it, okay, to allow it to become a part of you. So I'm going to ask your subconscious if it will receive this gift, truly receive it. And your subconscious says yes. And you said, do you know how to do it? Yes, I do. And so you're going to let it become a part of your light, and you're just like, it's bigger. 14, 20, 23, 27, 40, 42, 50, 57, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay? So it's now a part of your essence. To make it even more effective, if you allow it, there's a word that is used in different connotations in English, and it's called dedication. And, in the computer world, dedication, if you have a dedicated line, this is a line that it's a 24/7 line, and it normally does not get broken. It's kept up at all times. It's not like a dial-up connection. Before, a few years ago, we relied on dial-up, and but now we have more dedicated connections. I have a dedicated connection now in my apartment, and it's very nice. It's also when we dedicate ourselves to our passions in life, to what's really, really important to us, to our jobs or our family or whatever, where we really try to put our all into it. And then there's also, in a religious sense, dedicating ourselves to our higher power. And when we have our light, we can dedicate our light to Pure White Perfect Light. And when we allow Pure White Perfect Light to receive this, then it kind of makes a dedicated line between your essence through your heart to Pure White Perfect Light in the universe. Would you like to do this with this new gift?
Yes, I would.
Okay. So I'll ask your subconscious, would you like to do this? Yes, I would. Okay. So you're now dedicating this 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. And so I'll see how well you're allowing Pure White Perfect Light to truly receive this? 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, because there's a learning curve there. I don't know if you've done this before. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay. So you now have a dedicated line for this new strength, whatever it is. Okay. So is there anything else before putting up a shield around your heart? No. So now, so your heart isn't perfect yet. It still has stuff, issues that may or may not pop up every once in a while. The best thing to help these issues not be triggered or to be less likely to be triggered is to put up a shield around your heart of pure white perfect light. And what this does, so when it's pure white perfect light, good stuff can come in and go out, but bad stuff cannot. Okay? So I'm now going to ask Pure White Perfect Light in all thankfulness to truly and absolutely shield and repair. So I'm doing this through intuition of what to say. Shield and repair and strengthen and magnify your heart and all that it is before Pure White Perfect Light. 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. So this true shield is now around your true heart. Okay? Would you like to dedicate this to Pure White Perfect Light so that this can be a nice, strong, consistent, dedicated connection to Pure White Perfect Light? Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's make sure you have received it into your light. 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So now this is a part of your essence. Okay, and now can you dedicate this? Yes. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay. And are you allowing Pure White Perfect Light to receive it? 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay, so now you have a nice shield around your heart. It'll help you deal with stuff in life a little bit better. Is there anything else to do for this heart session today? One more thing. Okay, is it a weakness? Is it a gift? Is it an ability? Okay, so now Tim, this is up to you. Have you ever talked with your heart before?
Yes, I have, with muscle testing.
Okay. Why don't you talk with your heart right now and ask it what it would like right now?
Okay. It just loves that word, pure white perfect light. So it just says, more of that, please.
More of that, please. Okay. Well, cool. Okay. So I get that your heart is ready for the ability because, there's a thing, you have a gift, but there's above a gift is a talent, which is like a bunch of gifts that work together. And below a gift, there's abilities and skills and stuff like that. You can kind of look at it as a progression of how well you can do something. Okay? And so I get that your heart wants an ability to do something. And I'm sure that will grow into a gift as you use it. In all thankfulness and humility, I now ask Pure White Perfect Light to truly bless you in all that you are before Pure White Perfect Light with this true ability to access Pure White Perfect Light for yourself and everybody that you serve. In all that you are and in Pure White Perfect Light.
If I name one of my future CDs Pure White Perfect Light, I'll definitely say I got it from you.
Okay.
I love that word.